For a guy with, as of this moment, I believe 63 YouTube subscribers, I consider myself incredibly lucky. I do not do this for a living. I have a job, not something I super like or I want to be doing forever, but it pays my bills. And I use YouTube as an outlet um, of expression and just stuff that I want to talk about in the anime community, or to talk about shows that I want to talk about, or to share my experiences with stuff that's new to me and inform you whether or not it might be worth watching. Now, of course, my taste could be very different than yours, and your taste could be very different than mine. But I've been watching these streams by a very good friend of mine and a much bigger YouTuber than me, Bob Samurai. If you're somehow a person who's made their way to my channel and you haven't heard of him first, please check him out. He's awesome, really cool dude. Um, Mentions me all the time, even though I'm like, you know, an ant next to his channel, dude. But I think that it's just time that we go back to anime and manga, even, and all of this. Just, can we go back to when it was like, it was fun? Like, it should be fun, right? Like, yes, I say all the time, I believe that anime is art, and it is my favorite style of art. It is what I enjoy most looking at. Um, Honestly, these days, anime music I listen to way more often than regular music or Western music. Um, and aside from like Overwatch, it's my favorite way to entertain myself, I suppose. And that's what it is for me. It's entertainment. It's not a job for me, and I'm not trying to shit on the people that it's your job. If it's your job to talk about anime, um, this dialogue here is especially for you as well, because I think it's time that we just say like fuck meta and like fuck what everyone else is saying, and if they're shit talking you and saying that, oh, you're a normie for liking this, or how dare you go on Kiss Anime or something, or when you should be spending your money on Blu-rays, or you should be forking all your money over to Netflix even though they don't let you see your show until the very end of the season. And that's coming from me, a guy that doesn't give a fuck about seasonal anime anymore. I'm going to talk about that in the future. Because, you know, part of these, like, as I'm hearing these words here, if this is your first BS podcast, by the way, I'm Miasma, the Bearded Senpai. I probably should have led with that. But that is a very good example of how these usually go. This isn't scripted at all or anything, and you know, that's, you're just looking at some random image that I'm going to put with this rambling, and it's pretty different than my normal videos. I'm not reviewing anything here. I'm just kind of like just talking about what in the community typically is either pissing me off or I think needs to be praised, or what I think needs to be talked about. And I feel like I've done several of these where I sort of attack the community in general, which I do want to make this point. I've made a lot of really cool friends because of anime and because of the internet, and those guys are awesome. But for every like one friend that you make in the YouTube like community and so forth, if you like scroll down to any comment section or go to Reddit or go to maybe Facebook group comments or something like that, the majority of typed content that you see in regards to anime and anime fandom is negative, in my opinion. And I'm not saying that because somebody like negatively commented my videos. I mean, barely anybody watches me anyway. So, uh, but I just think it's supposed to be fun. Like, why just because someone has like certain knowledge over someone else, maybe about a show, like maybe you're someone that's really enjoying Madoka Magica, right? And I actually really enjoyed Madoka Magica. But I do know that before Madoka, like the idea of something like Madoka is because it's supposed to sort of take a darker take on magical girl genre, which is something that, hey, if you're just watching Madoka and you're enjoying it, you might not really care about. But then there's been other stuff that is sort of darker takes on magical girl genre. Some parts of Revolutionary Girl Utena, from what I've heard, a show that I haven't even seen, but just being around the medium so much for so long, I've heard that is also like a sort of darker take on that genre. But to like sit back and just say like, oh, you're a normie for liking this show, when this other one is so much better, I just feel like that's really negative, and I don't think it. Shouldn't we be trying to like promote what we like? Like, shouldn't we? That's what I try and do. I try and tell people shows that I think are really good, and there are shows that I dislike. Yeah, I've Trigun on here. I have literally said in my life, and at this point, I'm sort of regretting it. Is like, I've said that Trigun is shit and Gungrave is way better. And the only main reason I compare the two is because they both have guns and they both have the guy that wrote Trigun did the character designs for Gungrave, and Gungrave's an anime that I love, and I've only seen Trigun once and I really didn't like it. So I had this like bravado when I first started doing videos of mentioning that I didn't really like Trigun. And there's other stuff that, you know, is dubbed like must-watch stuff, like, what else can I mean, I could make a list video, I suppose, in the future. Just trying to, but that would probably trigger some people, I suppose. I'll do one more. Akira. The film Akira, or Akira, whatever the fuck, however you want to say it. That's another thing, too. Can we stop getting on people for pronunciation, please? It's like, a majority of us that are talking in the Western anime community are not Japanese and don't speak Japanese. And I've tried to learn Japanese before. I've been to Japan, and they don't give a shit over there if we're pronouncing fucking Sakura's last name wrong in Naruto, okay? Do I get annoyed if someone says, like, Naruto? A little bit, but I don't think I don't think it's something that, like, we need to get all butthurt over. I kind of lost my train of thought there. But, yeah, I need to stop being so goddamn negative. And, Akira, that's what it was. So with Akira, it is a beautiful film, but I just think that it has, like, some faults. I think it's kind of boring. I think it's kind of... I was, like, fighting sleep watching it. And I don't think it's that entertaining. And then years later, I learned that it's, like, part of the manga, or, like, part of the story. And I didn't find it very interesting, aside from the animation and, like, that cool transformation scene that's in it. But people say that's, like, one of the best anime films of all time. You have to watch Akira. Everyone should watch Akira, or else you're trash. And I don't know. I mean, there are anime I think that are like sort of like a must-watch, but I would only consider them a must-watch if it's something that I think almost everyone can enjoy. I had a short-lived segment that might resurface called Must-Watch Anime, and I really only discussed like 2 shows on there. One was Cowboy Bebop, and the other one was Full Metal Alchemist, specifically Brotherhood, because it's the better of the 2. But both are very, very enjoyable. And enjoying things. That should be the underlying factor. Watch what you enjoy. Watch what makes you happy. As long as it's not promoting pedophilia, and it's not promoting rape, and it's not promoting, I don't know, some crazy shit. And then, like, as long as it's making you happy, enjoy it. Don't give a shit about being a normie. Don't let fucking people that sit behind a keyboard and type up that you're really dumb for enjoying this show, don't let them, like, control what you watch, or, you know, just brush it off. I know it's probably hard, and it's for some people it's going to affect you. I'm affected by what people say about me far more than I let on. And I think to an extent we all are. But just watch what you want to watch and enjoy what you want to enjoy. You know, you live once. Like, there's only so many anime that you're going to be able to watch in this lifetime. And there's so many that I want to watch, because I've been lucky enough to have been in the community long enough to have been recommended several shows, some of which I may never even get to. And yeah, occasionally I'll watch something that's trash. I just watched Sleeping with Hinako, and that's gonna be my next review, and that was not great. But hey, man, maybe some people enjoy Sleeping with Hinako. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But to go on like tirades and make like series of videos of why X series is trash, you're wasting so much time on being negative. Like, and just for what? For like shock value, I guess. To what's like your end game when like you make stuff like that? Like, is it just like, oh well, anybody that likes this show, they're gonna see my video, or anybody that likes this movie, they're gonna see my video, and they're magically not gonna like it anymore somehow? Or man, aren't they gonna feel stupid? How dare they like that thing that I don't like? Like, I don't get it. It's just something in the community that I don't understand. And to be frank, I'd rather watch more positive videos. I feel like some people get into critiquing / reviewing / talking about anime just to be negative, and I think that's a very big problem. It's fine, I think, to look at stuff with a critical eye to an extent, but sometimes you gotta like understand like not everything was meant for that. Not everything was meant to be looked at under a microscope. And while some stuff is deeper than it appears, like none of it, like a majority of anime does not need to be analyzed. Like I would say a majority of shows are pretty much just for your entertainment. A lot of like rom-com stuff, which people love for like decades. Look at Rumiko Takahashi stuff. A creator that I love has given me my favorite anime of all time, Inuyasha. And while I haven't gotten to her other works besides a little bit of Rine, her stuff isn't like worthy of like deep critical analysis. I mean, maybe you could like do like a little bit of character study, but even then, like you're like really digging in to stuff that doesn't need to be dug into. Maybe you like a character for a specific reason. I really like Sango and Inuyasha, for a lot of reasons. I could make a video about that, but just like sit here and type up to just break out a thesaurus or something and have some big word and have it be like fucking I don't know, fucking Rastafarianism in Ranma 1/2 and somehow like connect those two things. Now someone's gonna make a video about Rastafarianism in Ranma 1/2. Watch. But yeah, just like you're just kind of you're forcing connected dots at that point. Like you are, you could, in theory, you could connect anything to anything. So I mean, it doesn't. It's really not that impressive. And I don't really get. And yes, someone's probably gonna comment. Oh, hey, Miasma, you had a video back in the day that was. I used to have a format that was like I would title stuff with like what I used to type a blog, which all of the blog stuff is now on my anime list, if that site's up at this point. I don't really write the blog anymore. I don't really have time. But mostly if I wrote a blog about something, it was just me promoting what I enjoyed out of it. It wasn't like, I was never like, oh, you're missing these things, and if you miss these, then you're dumb. Like, I would not, the one that I always think of is, I have a video called Maturity, Love, and Melancholy at Eka 7. And in truth, one of the reasons I put melancholy in the title was because Haruhi Suzumiya was recently coming out on Blu-ray at that point, and I figured maybe people might be Googling it or something, and I thought, let me get in on that search engine optimization, and it didn't really work out, but that's okay. I know some people enjoyed the video. I actually enjoyed the video, but I did not have the intentions that I think a lot of other people have when they make a video like that. And if you've noticed, I make a lot less of that kind of content. I have this kind of content where I kind of just sit here and bullshit and ramble. And then I have my reviews, which have gotten a lot less formal over time. I like to do some collection stuff because I think collecting is important. That's the other thing is we gotta stop. I love collecting anime, and I think that if you can afford it and you want to have it on a shelf, if you want to have physical copies of anime, do it. It is expensive, be warned, it can be expensive. There are ways to go about it cheaper. And there's some shows that you're probably not going to be able to own because they're either out of print or something, or I don't know, it might be the cheaper versions of it might be region locked or something. So then you kind of have to pirate it because that's a problem in the industry, is because they don't make everything available all the time because of licensing issues. In my opinion, the streaming services should step up a little bit, and I think that they should acquire more shows and more licenses and stuff like that. Especially if they're going to charge money. Yeah, I just like if you want to watch, Monster, right? Everybody praises Monster. It's also a really good show. I have a review of it. Check it out. But if it's not your thing, don't check it out. I mean, check out the Gyre Media video, but if Monster's not your thing, don't check out Monster. Everyone can enjoy Gyre Media. But yeah, if you want to watch Monster, you pretty much better pirate it, or you're going to be watching, I guess, like Japanese DVDs. Because as far as I know, it's not on any site at this point. And that's one that people really praise a lot, and it's long, and it's an iconic show, and those who have seen it really like it. So I feel like as people dive into the community, they're going to stumble across a video about Naoki Urasawa's Monster, and then it's going to be like, well, I should watch this. Can I have the DVDs? Nope. And you can't expect people to give up there. Like, people are going to watch it in the easiest way possible. So they're going to go to Kiss Anime, or they're going to go somewhere else, and I can't really judge people for that. I pirate shit sometimes. I try not to download things. I usually just stream stuff. Otherwise, anything I watch is on like a Blu-ray. And there is the reason I don't use like Kiss Anime and stuff as much anymore is because every time I go to their website, I get 5 million pop-ups and potential viruses. So I try not to use that shit. But that's just me, and I'm pretty paranoid about my computer. But we shouldn't be like shitting all over people if that's just what they do. Like if they refer to their shelf as their hard drive as their shelf rather, that's them. Like Japan isn't crying about it. Like I'm not crying about it. You're not gonna lose sleep at night, even though you're acting like it if you're giving that person a hard time. Okay, the people that want to buy the anime will buy the anime. Yes, that is a minority of the crowd. I wish it was more. But I don't think it's in such dire straits that, like, Funimation's going to stop making DVDs. I'm pretty sure those guys are making more money every year. So I'm not really going to be worried about that. I'm going to stop it here. If you guys like what I talked about here, please check out my other Bearded Senpai podcasts, the BS podcast. I try and do one of these every week or a couple weeks or so. And check out the rest of the channel if this is your first time here. I do reviews and some unboxings, discussions, and I stream Overwatch most nights at around 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. So if you like Overwatch, check that out. I also am starting to do manga videos as well, so please give those a look. But yeah, let me know down below if you guys think that we should go back to having fun while, watching stuff that we enjoy and talking about this medium that we really love. As always, guys, this is Miasma from Gyra Media, signing out.